Hi everyone and welcome to Mommy Mondays. My name is Azucena. I am the mother to a lovely almost 6-month-old baby. He is he's actually 5 months and 3 weeks. Next week he'll be turning 6 months. Oh my God, it's such a big milestone. Really quick, thank you for everybody that's been watching from before he was born to now. And if you just started watching, hey, basically I use this venue to talk about what parenting has been like, motherhood for me, and then also updates on Kai, baby Kai. Yeah, my little boy, he's so sweet. I can't believe it. So, like I said, he's about to be 6 months, and it's been really interesting because, and I've talked about it in other videos where I've been very open about the struggle we've had with breastfeeding at the beginning, which things really didn't get easier until about 3 months. So now that we're at the 6-month mark, I remember when he turned 4 months, I was thinking, wow, it's 1/3 of the year already gone. And through my goal, because my biggest goal was making sure that I could breastfeed for a year. And then now that we're halfway through, or almost halfway through, I flirt with the idea of going for longer, for going for 2 years, as recommended by the World Health Organization, which is also referred to as WHO. So capital WHO. So we'll just see how it goes. Obviously, we plan and adjust, and that's been this whole thing to parenting, because that's all you can do, plan and adjust, because you will most likely have to adjust depending on how things go, from what I've been learning. Which there's been a lot of learning, not only for us, but for Kai as well. Like I said, he's about to be 6 months. He's doing really well with his milestones. We had a nurse come the other day, and it was a program that we had signed up for when Kai was in NICU. Kai was in NICU for about 10 days after birth, or Kai was in NICU 2 days after being born. So he never left the hospital for almost 2 weeks after his birth because of the fact that he was in NICU for a number of different reasons. Nothing serious, which we learned in the end, but just happy that we were able to get out. But essentially what happened was, while we were there, we signed up for a free program where a nurse would come over to the house about once every 3 months just to check up on Kai. I also think it's part of a study to kind of see how the NICU babies are doing once they leave. So anyways, that's where we found out that Kai is reaching his milestones and is a little bit advanced. He actually does really well holding himself up when he's sitting. Like, he doesn't lean over or hold his or use a hand to hold himself up. So that's really nice. He has a lot of that core strength. Tummy time is going great. He does a couple of other things like banging one toy against another toy, which apparently is something that you begin to see at 8 months of age and that kind of thing. So anyways, he's doing really well. He's a big boy. He's 27 inches, and he's a few ounces shy of being 19 pounds. He's a big boy and exclusively breastfed, mind you. Now, we have been introducing solids. We're doing the baby led weaning. I will be uploading a video so you kind of see the foods that we've been introducing. There is a book that you can read that talks about the do's and don'ts and just the premise behind it. I read it before we formally started it with Kai. We haven't seen the doctor yet, so we don't necessarily have the green light from them. But in reality, I'm not concerned with the fact that we've started to do this without the doctor's consent per se, just because of the fact that we always supervise him when he eats. He's able to hold himself up. The tongue thrust reflex is basically gone. And he shows interest with food. He smacks. He's able to take things and put things in his mouth. So yeah, I'm not really concerned. And like I spoke about it with the nurse, and the nurse was cool about it. She didn't say anything like maybe you shouldn't or whatever. So that was also a good indication for me that we're okay with what we're doing. And really, with the baby led weaning, they are going to be eating, but at the same time, it's not eating in the traditional sense, because this is really a way for baby to work on their hand-eye coordination, learning to put things into their mouth, learning to swallow, feeling different textures and that kind of thing. It is a big exploration mode. So is he downing as much food as he would be when being introduced foods like some people do, right, with pureed foods and whatnot? He's eating about the same, because when you think about it, pureed foods are watered down heavily, whether it be with breast milk or water or formula, to get it to that really smushy consistency. So and they don't take that much to begin with. Now there are and one thing I really like about the baby led weaning is the fact that they feed themselves. So basically, it's really nice. All three of us will eat together, and I don't have to worry about, oh, do I need to feed him again? Like, he's feeding himself. Like I said, I'll go ahead and make a compilation video of some of the foods that I've introduced, just so you can kind of see what it looks like, because it's really interesting. You think of a big piece that the baby has in their hand, and it almost seems counterintuitive, but really it's the small. It's actually the small objects that we should be concerned about, because those could be choking hazards. So yeah, and like I said, if you want to read more about it, there's a book out there. I highly recommend it. It answered a lot of my questions, and again, it was just a style of introducing solids that really resonated with how I would like to do things with Kai, and Victor agrees. So we are doing well. And yeah. One thing we're debating is whether or not we're going to give him the flu shot, just because I actually have never gotten the flu, I don't think. And I never get the shot. And Victor actually, I think, gets the shot every year. And I think he gets sick once a year too. At least. So, yeah, we're a little on the fence about it. Especially because we're thinking, if I typically don't get sick, and Victor was recently sick, I think my body has already created those antibodies that are going to protect him from that. So we'll see. I had to do a little bit more research before the 6-month checkup to see what's up with that. I also need to call Kai's pediatrician to be like, hey, like we want to make sure that we don't do a cocktail vaccination, but that we give the vaccination separately. That way it decreases the mercury levels of the shot, because usually those cocktail ones, the 4-in-1 shot, tend to be high in mercury. So we need to do that. But I mean, life is good. Like, I feel pretty good. Kai is sleeping a little differently, and that's to be expected. So again, I think there's a 4 or 5 month sleep regression, which the next regression is at 8 months, but Kai's sleep is just changing, and it's normal, right? He's gonna be going from 3 naps to 2 naps with longer wake periods, and then sleeping at night will be different too. So we'll just see how it goes. We still co-sleep with him. He still sleeps with us. I nurse him throughout the night. I mean, we just do as we do, and it works for us. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. We got a playpen. He really likes that. Again, the sippy cup, he's doing well with the sippy cup, That's basically it. Like, things are going pretty well. Now, I do get a lot of anxiety of, oh my God, is the baby really fussy when it comes to other people? Basically because of what I've heard from some people, but again, it's from people who don't necessarily have kids. Whenever I'm with other moms, it's very different, because we all kind of understand each other, and we're like, yeah, it happens, it is what it is. But yeah, I tend to be a little harsh to myself. But anyways, I mean, life is good. He's pooping, he's peeing, he's gaining weight. That's always nice. And this 31 days of Halloween costume thing that I was doing on Facebook, I think I bit off more than I could chew. But it's been fun, giving it a really good attempt. I really underestimated the task, and really not understanding how frustrated a baby can get when they don't want to dress up, but you want to dress them up. You're just kind of like, dude, but you look so cute. And it is what it is. We'll have another opportunity next year. Anyways, until next time, if you have any questions, and again, this is all a community. Like, this helps us all, especially when we reach out. And I think this is a big point of why I do these videos, because I like being able to share the knowledge that I've gotten through this whole journey. So, yeah. Anyways, until next time, I hope you have a lovely week. Bye.